Jane Bennis. And so what is your name?
My name is Jane Bennis Bowman.
How long have you lived here in Delmar?
I am 60 years old, so I was born in Maquoketa, and we moved away for 25 years to Preston, but I'm back in Delmar now.
What brought you and your family, well, why did you come back to Delmar?
Very good question. My mom and dad called me one day when I was teaching in Preston and said we would like to move to town. Our home where I grew up has a lot of steps, and they were getting older, and so he said, I want you to think about it. Within 5 years, we will move. And I said, we've already talked about it. We would love to come back. And so we moved to our family farm. And my family has had the home we live in since 1947.
What was life like in Delmar when you were growing up?
I enjoyed it so much. My grandpa owned the Bennis Hardware store, and my sister and I helped him a lot when he was gone. We would take over for him, and my grandma and grandpa, Jerry and Flossie Bennis, lived in Delmar, and so after school we would get to walk there and play with all the neighborhood kids. My cousins would come and we'd get to play at the playground here at the school, which because it was so close to their home. So I still get together with my classmates from 1975, which is very cool.
What are your favorite memories growing up?
Being with family. Family has always been very important to our Bennis family, and what is very cool is that three of the four of us live in Delmar still. So we still make memories in Delmar, which is very cool.
What is special about Delmar to you?
The family feeling, because everybody knows everyone and you care for one another in special ways. When people are hurting, you help them get through their difficult time, and you get to celebrate when there are good things. And with Delmar Development now happening, it's an exciting thing because there's going to be a lot more happening. When I moved back here in 2009 to live in our family farm, I became a member of the Delmar Lions, so we're very involved with this community, and I am the Director of Religious Ed at St. Patrick's Church, where I was baptized, took my first communion, confirmation, and I was married here.
How did you meet your husband?
At a dance in DeWitt, and I went away to college, and my senior year in college is when I met him. So when I graduated, I taught in Independence, and then we were engaged in a year and married in 1981, and we rented from my parents in a home not too far from where we live right now. But when we started having kids, how many years ago? 34 years ago, when this is 34, we decided that I was a teacher in Preston and we wanted them to have the very same schedule as I did for school. So we moved to Preston in 1984, and we were there 25 years till I moved back.
How has Delmar changed over time?
Since my childhood, in many ways. The downtown does not at all look like it did when I was growing up. It was thriving. There were restaurants and the Bennis Hardware, where guys would congregate with their coffee and their rolls every morning. and several bars. I just remember going to the restaurant a lot because that was owned by relation of ours too. So the church has changed because it would be almost full. Families were big and many stayed around, but now we have less families in our church, so in that way it has changed. The Delwood School has changed in appearance for the better, a lot more room, and I like it because I'm a substitute here now, and I enjoy that so much. I taught for 34 years, and now my main role is to be a grandma. And so if they call and need a substitute, I can say that I'm busy, or I stay very busy with subbing in 6 schools too.
What were the downtown buildings like before they were empty?
There were many of them. The Bennis Hardware had every part that farmers needed and the elevator needed, and my grandpa would take off the hour for lunch, and sometimes he would get calls and have to go down to the hardware store because he knew everyone. And it was so convenient for farmers to come in. And just 2 doors down was the restaurant. And across the street, you had another restaurant and the bars. Delmar was busy, flourishing then.
Did you have a favorite restaurant when you were growing up?
In this town?
Yeah.
Yep, my relation, the Lanes, owned the restaurant, and then it was on the same block as the hardware store where the grass lot is, and then they moved it up where a green older building is now. That was a restaurant for a while. So yes, we would go there quite often, especially at lunchtime.
Can you please share a memory or a story that explains or captures what Delmar is to you?
Let me think. I guess there are several. Being married here was a very special memory. We were married on a Friday night at 5 o'clock, and there were so many people coming into the church that they had to go get chairs from the rectory next door, and it didn't start at 5 o'clock because people were still coming in. My husband's name is Don Bowman, and he is from a big family. And then, of course, I was a Bennis from Delmar, and my parents knew everyone. So everyone was invited. We didn't even send invitations out. We just put in the paper, all friends and relatives are invited to our wedding. So I'm walking from the rectory in my wedding dress. The windows of the church are open. And because there was no air conditioning then, and it was very hot, and my sister stepped on my wedding dress and it went. And so I was upset, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but the windows to the church are open. And we finally got it started, and it was such a memorable night for all of us. Our reception was at Pearson, and I counted names one time in our guest book, and there were over 800. So we had a very big celebration. And that's what Delmar is. You celebrate everyone's happy occasions. Yeah, it was a cool memory.
If you close your eyes and think of Delmar, what comes to mind?
Many families, when I grew up, still live here. And I can picture their homes and their kids, because when we were with our grandma and grandpa, we ran the town. You did not have to worry about fear or not being safe when I was young. It was okay to just say goodbye and not see your parents or grandparents for several hours. Nowadays, my daughters live in bigger cities and you cannot leave your children alone. So this is a safe community. It was when I was young and it still is.
What makes Delmar feel like home to you?
Because it is home. Yeah. A lot of the same people. And my classmates get together often, and some of them still live here. So we reminisce, and the downtown is what is different than it was, but the people are the same. So that's what makes it home.
If you could leave Delmar, what would you?
Not at this time. Nope, because I live in the country and we love country living. We're only 3 miles from Delmar, and so when I need to come here, it doesn't take very long. And my 2 brothers live here and their families, and so we get together often. Nope, I don't want to leave. I prefer to stay.
So you said that you're a substitute teacher here and you want to be a grandma. Did you ever work at any of the downtown businesses?
I helped my grandpa at the Bennis Hardware store. I never took money, but we worked there, and now I get to work here, and then I'm the director of religious ed at the church. So I do have a position there.
Is Delmar the kind of place where people have friends and know their neighbors? Why or why not?
Yes, definitely. You do. You know most everyone that is here. And if you don't, you inquire. We're fortunate that the school has so many activities going on that draws a lot of families and relatives and friends to our community because of the school. And Delmar Lions. I'm the secretary at of the Delmar Lions group. We meet the first and third Wednesdays at 6 a.m., which is not easy for me, but they do such good things for this community. And it's rewarding to see the involvement of the young kids that help us with the events that we have. The food drive we have in November, we could not do that by ourselves without the groups that help, the 4-H groups and other groups that help collect all the food sacks. So we have Christmas for the Delmar Festival of Lights. We do the soup supper, and it's the kids that are so involved at helping with that too. So it's a good thing.
How important is the school to Delmar?
Very. Yep, very. And I have very good comments about this school. From administration down to the students respect the teachers and adults that help, which is very important. And teachers are such a blessing. I enjoy subbing here very much. I like it when he calls me. So keep calling, Todd.
What would you tell someone thinking about moving to Delmar?
That it would be a good move. I'm not sure how much housing there is right now, but I think Delmar Development will probably keep working on some things to attract families to Delmar. The school is the big attraction right now because of the scores that they have and the leadership that the administrator and the teachers have. So.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but could you tell us a little bit more about Delmar Development? Is that like an organization that does development around here?
Yes. There are community members that have started Delmar Development, and they have a lot of goals that they are going to achieve. They're going to improve the downtown look. A lot of the buildings are not in good shape, and they plan on doing something about that. And our park will have grills. I know they are going to put grills in by the pavilions. Our park is very busy. Groups can speak for the pavilions, in the summertime. And we have our annual car show, which attracts, we've had up to 150 cars in the park. I know several people on it, and they meet twice a month. So any community members can go to the Delmar Development meetings to improve the look of Delmar.
What is the center of the community in Delmar?
We're in it. Yep, it's the school. It has nothing but positive things going on. And the two churches also stay very involved with the community. The dinners they have, suppers. I'm involved with the Catholic Church, and we have several activities that families come to at our church. And we're very fortunate to have our Grossman Hall, which is with our church. Right in the parking lot of Grossman Hall was where I went to kindergarten. And it was called the Parochial Hall. And that was the Catholic school. And my grandpa was the first, I think he was the last class to graduate from the Catholic school. And that was in 1937. And our church tore that down and built Grossman Hall. So Grossman Hall is very busy for graduation parties and showers and receptions, suppers that both of our churches, the Delmar Methodist Church and St. Patrick's Church, have. So that also has attracted a lot of.
What do you think the most important thing the mayor should do to Delmar?
We have a wonderful mayor. Patti Harden has done a great job. She is on the Delmar Development along with many community members, and she knows what's happening always in Delmar. So we're very fortunate to have her leadership in our community, and I hope that continues for a long time. She's in Delmar Lions also, so she comes to every meeting to give us an update what our Delmar committee is doing and what we can help with, which is good.
What do you want Delmar to be and look like in the future? What would you like to see Delmar in the future?
I would like the downtown to improve its look. We need some buildings painted, and we have a green space that we could use for different activities. The Delmar Fire Station is a very nice looking building. So we just need to move the good look down and have all the blocks, the 4 blocks, look modern, I guess, and improved.